Championship. A new twist on an old classic. It's got the the kind of the frame of the big goal, but it's got the
Yeah.
big WWE logo in the middle of it. You some maybe it shouldn't be my only take for it. Maybe it wouldn't be as bubble. Maybe it was just the logo, the WWE logo, but not the bubble. But it was like on side onto it. Maybe that'd be a little bit better. But I still
Right.
kind of like the championship. What do you think of it,
Man, I'm torn on it. I'm torn on it because
man?
it's like you say, it's a new spin on a classic. So it's like it's got the framework of the big
Right,
goal, which is what everybody wanted. My only thing is this, and I get WWE. WWE, they're all about branding and they're all about brand
right,
awareness, visibility, and unfortunately for the fans now that want that nostalgia, every single belt got that big ass WWE logo in the middle. Is that's the one thing about this belt that's kind of like lightweight annoying me. It's kind of like, bruh, I don't need to see. I don't need that to take up and be the center of every single belt. Like because I still feel like to a degree, it's like a new twist on the big goal, but with a hint of the Intercontinental Championship, the current one. And I'm just like, it just I just really truly wish they made this belt really feel special and stand out from the rest. I mean, and to a degree, it does do that. And this may be something that has to grow on me over time, but this just isn't what I expected. And I know a lot of people I read online, they were like, well, if you're gonna do something similar to the big goal to, bring back a world championship, world heavyweight, why didn't they just go back to the original one in the first place? And for many reasons, I guess I can understand why they didn't. I guess if you want to leave that in the past, that's cool. But it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I give it some
and
time.
I get what you mean about the big WWE logo, but the one thing I like about the logo on this one is not as big
Yeah.
as it is on the other titles. That's why I say, man, if they had taken off that bubble and just put it like just the logo itself onto it and kind of made it grainy like it is with the rest of the belt, I think
Yeah.
that'd be a little bit different.
Yeah.
That may be a little bit more acceptable. But you still keep the framework of that that big gold championship like the one behind you sitting on the thing like that's the only little tweak I probably would have made with that. But I
Let,
kind of like it though. But I still kind of like it.
let me ask you this. Oh, while we're on the
What's
subject of the
up?
world championship, okay.
Right.
So Triple H, man, he said some interesting points, and you and I,
Oh yeah.
to a
Oh yeah.
degree, we kind of said something similar, and it was in regards to Roman Reigns and the WWE
Hmm.
undisputed Universal Championship. We said the same thing. We were like, okay, one, if anybody needs a belt, it's got to be Seth Rollins. But then it's like, are we gonna have Seth versus Roman? Like, how is Seth gonna get a title if he gets a title? And then he kind of alluded to that. We don't
Well,
get to that, but Triple H said, Roman Reigns, he got himself into a position to where he was able to negotiate less dates, not really having to work outside of pay-per-views. 1,000 days as champion. And he went on to reference. There's a lot of guys in the past that he's worked with that wouldn't have been able to sustain what Roman Reigns has done and sustained. And then you got Seth Rollins. He came out later in the night and he said, "Hey, me and Omos, we got a match at Backlash coming up, but I got my eyes on something bigger." And then he alluded to going for, the newly revealed World Championship. And he says, you guys deserve a fighting champion. Triple H said the same thing. You guys deserve a fighting champion. Let me
hmm
ask you this.
hmm
Um, Roman Reigns. How do we see that playing out? And the WWE undisputed Universal Championship, and also the fact that Triple H said wherever Roman gets drafted, that's where he's going to be moving forward. So no more brand hopping. Like wherever he's at is where he's at, which I feel like is going to really open up the world title picture on the other show because now you ain't got to
That's
worry
the
about the
point.
bloodline. You ain't got to worry about
That's the
Roman.
point.
Whoever's the champion, they're going to be the champion and legit the face of that show.
Which is why I'm curious. To really better answer your question, we're going to have to wait to the draft.
Yeah.
because, like he said, whatever show Roman gets drafted on, the other show will have this tournament to
Yeah.
crown this new champion. So we got to see where he gets drafted. And it's like, okay, if it's to Raw, which, I mean, honestly, I don't really see him leaving SmackDown. Now, could
Nah.
SmackDown
Nah.
decide to, but I mean, well, it depends on who gets the first pick. If SmackDown gets the first pick, then cool. But I honestly, if Raw decides, you know what, we'll if Raw takes Seth Rollins first, like that'll be the I think that'll be the teller. It won't be Cody. I think it'll be Seth. If Raw takes Seth Rollins first, then you know where this championship is going. This
Yeah.
championship is going to Raw because Roman Reigns is gonna get picked up by SmackDown with the next pick. Like they're gonna pick him second. They're not gonna pick no one else outside of outside of Roman Reigns.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Oh.